Edward, privateering. Is it dangerous?
So the main character is called Edward Genway. He's first and foremost a pirate that very early on in the game gets involved into the assassin and Templar fight or war.
I will choose a new path, but I will never cooperate with those bastards.
After a while, he gets trained by the assassin and learns to embrace the way of the assassin. My preferred way of fighting is fist fighting. I get rid of all the sword and I fight with my fist, because then you see the real badass temper of a pirate. But otherwise you have a bunch of swords, and what we have is that he's fighting with dual swords like pirates were doing for real, so one to protect, one to attack. You start with a single gun, but as you upgrade your main character, you can get up to 4. And once you have 4, then you can do pretty much a series of very nice moves to get rid of the opponents around you.
A little more than a blowpipe, but it'll do.
There are different ways of playing the game. So one thing we made sure in AC4 is that the stealth was back. So we gave them stealth tools like the blowpipe.
Attention to detail was paramount in the creation of Assassin's Creed 4 on the current generation of gaming systems. But for PS4 and Xbox One, the definition is unlike anything you've ever seen.
On AC4, on the next-gen platform, what we did is that it's basically the same core game as on the current gen or PC. We didn't want the gameplay and stuff like that to change. But one thing that was very important to us was to push the bar. So we decided very early on that what we were doing on the next gen was to use additional CPU and GPU power to make the game even more beautiful in order to create a more immersive world.
The open world concept in Assassin's Creed Black Flag also reaches new heights. There's over 80 remote islands for you to roam freely, as well as major cities like Kingston, Havana, and the Pirate Republic of Nassau.
Hey, hey, roll and go, soon be
Welcome to Nassau!
We wanted to make sure that we have one world that you don't have to load to go to the different locations. So we really pushed the seamless, making sure that you can take your ship, go into the water, go to land, go back on your ship, etc. And this is what differs from the other game, is that you have one area to play in, and you can go wherever you want without any loading.
Meet Adewale, your invaluable first mate. He's a skilled sailor and warrior.
Could we talk a moment about the condition of the ship?
And if that's not enough for you, Ubisoft will release a new mission of downloadable content with more stories to be told, treasures to be had.
The DLC will be out in a couple of months after the release of Black Flag. It takes place about 15 years after the events of Black Flag. It's about 1735. Adewale and Edward part ways. Adewale at this point is a full-fledged assassin, and the story takes place around Saint-Domingue, which is like present-day Haiti, and he is exposed to a part of his past which he forgot, all about slavery. And once he's in Saint-Domingue, he sees how the slaves are working in these horrible conditions, and he has an opportunity to do something about it. We do use a lot of the tools and features from the main game, Black Flag. However, we try to create a lot of new content. We give him his new weapon, which is a machete. We even give him a blunderbuss. And we have an entire whole city, which is Port-au-Prince. And in there, we create a whole bunch of events that involve the player to liberate slaves from these horrible conditions that they're living in.
Enjoy your wine and women life, for tomorrow we dance with death!